At the bottom of the hour, it has been so long since we have had the big fella Swagoo back with us here. We just thought we would do a little catch up here. And so we'll play a game called What Up, Swagoo?
What's up, man?
And we're just going to go through a few of the topics out here. Okay, let's start with 15 in Kansas City. Are we going to see the first ever Super Bowl three-peat?
Yep. Why the hell not? Okay. Last year was the worst team I've ever seen Kansas City have since he showed up, and they won the damn Super Bowl against a juggernaut. They beat the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC Championship, and then went to the Super Bowl against San Francisco and won that game. And gee, we didn't even know who the receivers were in that game. Think about it. All you knew was Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce. I don't know what it is about the Kansas City Chiefs when they get in the playoffs, but things seem to work out for them. And 15 is always the common denominator.
And now he's got ridiculous speed on the outside. How about one of his biggest competitors, Josh Allen? Is he going to be even better this year despite losing Stephon Diggs?
Yep, I believe so. And it has a lot to do with Josh Allen talent, but I think it's more about offensively how they're going to structure this offense. It's not going to be all on him. And we used to talk about that all the time. It was all on him and Stephon Diggs. I think the ball will get spread around more. We saw James Cook come into the fold last year as a runner and as a back to catch the ball out of the backfield. I think the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen will be better, and we may see his turnovers go down by playing a different brand of offense.
And then one more. Let's go to Pittsburgh, where I think we have the most interesting quarterback battle in recent memory. And we've had a little injury here with Russell Wilson. Who do you think should be the starting quarterback there?
I think whoever wins in training camp, and that's why this injury to me is a big deal. Because I think RC knows Mike Tomlin very well, like personally. I look at Mike Tomlin as an old school coach. You get the reps in training camp. You show me that you can play at a high level in training camp. I give you opportunities in the game. And if you perform in the preseason, I'm going to roll you out there the first game of the week. And look, I know he said Russell Wilson is the leader in the clubhouse coming into this entire situation with Justin Fields. I think this is predicated on how Justin Fields performs while Russell Wilson is out. And can he play at a high level throughout the duration of camp? And he may walk out there as the starter.
For what it's worth, I mean, Russell missed his fourth straight practice yesterday, and here is Mike Tomlin on that absence.
From a health standpoint, no real update. Russ worked partially today and expect him to get going a little bit as we come off this off day.
Do you expect to be able to see Russ in some team periods next week?
That's what I said.
Okay. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. No one says words better than Mike Tomlin does. He is the best speaker of words in the English language. So, RC, again, interpret those words for us. What 4 straight practices for Russell? I'm not sure what we're hearing about how Fields has looked so far. It's very early. What should we be thinking here?
Well, in the offseason, I know Russell did have a slight lead. As things in the playbook started to get a little heavy, there was a little more consistency from Russell Wilson. But now in this space, Justin Fields is getting an opportunity to show his explosivity. We've seen clips from practice where he's scrambling around, getting the football out of his hands. We saw the deep ball down the sideline. And if I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, if I'm an executive, if I'm Mike Tomlin, I want Justin Fields to win this job. And it just all depends on what sort of marriage you want to have. Maybe you want the safe guy, right? Maybe you want the guy that has the 9 and 5. He has a great job. He shows up every day at home. He's never going to cheat on you. No women want him. And so this is a dude that you know is going to show up every day. You're going to live an average life, and you're going to be safe, right? You're going to be able to raise your grandkids. But there are some women that like to live on the edge, right? Some of these women, they want the pretty boy. They want the guy that's an entrepreneur. So you can go everywhere from Will Smith on Pursuit of Happiness to being Steve Jobs. And he's going to take you on these tremendous trips. And you might not be able to pay for the trip, but you're going to at least be there. That's Justin Fields. There's no quarterback. The only 2 quarterbacks, or only 2 teams that produce more explosive plays than Justin Fields while he was in Chicago was Lamar Jackson and Brock Purdy. He is that dynamic, and you may get some ups and downs with it, but you will get an opportunity to be above average, to be better than 9 and 8 if he plays at the top of his potential, and that's what he needs to show them right now.
Dominique, what do you make of all that?
Oh, it's fun, but I like the idea of going after the entrepreneur who got a great idea, is in the garage cooking something up. He might burn your house down, but he also might hit it big. That seems like a lot more fun ride to me. But I think given what I know about the Steelers and their history, they want to keep it safe. They want the guy that's going to go the 9 to 5 with a 30-minute break, eat his bologna sandwich, and come right on home and get up the next morning and do the same thing. Play good defense and run the ball. Yeah, that bologna. They're going to eat that bologna. It's cheap.
Let the record show, Kevin, as I give it to you here, that the person who, in this analogy, no women want, is married to one of the most famous pop stars in the entire world. We all understand that. But that obviously isn't the point.
He's the safe guy.
Yeah, exactly. It isn't the point that you're making. I fully understand that, but it does seem worth saying out loud. So how do you see this battle?
So first of all, I think the conversation is a little bit off the past couple months because I think because of the big names, we're confusing this with a glamorous competition. It's not. This is a franchise that is trying to paper over a failed first-round pick and got basically two guys the league said they didn't want. And I think that's important context here. That means that there isn't that much difference between these two guys. This isn't like some stud guy, quarterback not getting the reps and it's no problem because he can come win the job if he was healthy in noon on the 1st September. That's not this. Russell Wilson needs these reps. He's not a scheme fit with the Arthur Smith offense. He likes to use his legs to get outside the numbers and throw deep. He doesn't want to throw over the middle of the field like Arthur Smith wants to. Neither does Justin Fields, but Justin Fields has an extra element with his legs. He's going to practice well. That locker room will respond because they see the amazing things Justin Fields can do in practice. I think this is getting closer every single day. I did not think this would be a competition in August. I thought maybe Justin Fields would get worked in November, December. Every single rep that Russell Wilson misses, Justin Fields gets closer.
I go back to when both guys were signed. My thought process was, you don't sign Justin Fields if this is not a competition.
Yeah.
I thought it was a competition from day one. Now, when Mike Tomlin came out and said that Russell Wilson would have a stronghold on the job, it made sense to me. We had seen Russell Wilson get better after an abysmal season in Denver. He played a little bit better, and it was comfortable. But to RC's point, when you got a chance to be super explosive and dynamic, or we pretty much know what we're going to get from Russell Wilson. Yeah. So when you got both of these guys into this organization with Mike Tomlin, the one thing that RC and Foxy and I know about Mike Tomlin, he is 100% a truth teller.
Yeah.
All right? So when this decision was made and he has enough cachet within that organization to say, I'm bringing Justin Fields in here to compete. Yep. Even with the comment about Russell Wilson being the guy that he would have as a leader in the clubhouse. But to me, this was a competition from the start. Because if you go get Russell Wilson, and I know it didn't cost you a lot of money, but you also go get a quarterback that if he performs well, you have to pay going forward. That, to me, didn't seem like you were trying to usher in a Justin Fields under the tutelage of Russell Wilson.
RC, what I'm about to say is something I obviously do not know, but I think, and I will always believe, that if the Steelers had known at the very beginning of this process that they could get Justin Fields for a 6th-round pick, I don't know that Russell Wilson would have been there in the first place. That was at a moment in time when we were all talking about, is Fields going to go for a 2? Is he going to go for a 1? And the Steelers jumped on an easy option, and it worked out fine, and they probably said, they told him, you're going to be our starter here, and so they're honoring that. And that's all cool because Tomlin is an honorable guy. But at the end of the day, if this is a real quarterback competition, everything I see points in the other direction.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the hard part, right? We don't get to watch it every single day. We don't get to see Russell Wilson operate within that building, Russell Wilson operate on that field as a leader and a quarterback. I get what we've seen game time, but if you watch professional quarterbacks, good professional quarterbacks at practice, none of them are bad, right? You're not going to see a guy who's a good starter really be terrible in the offseason. You don't get to see that. And so I think this is where Justin Fields has to make his hay. This is where Justin Fields has to close the gap. And now with Russell Wilson not being at practice, we're getting to see some of the explosivity, some of the dynamic plays he can make with both his legs and his arms. And that stuff is tantalizing. And so if you are Arthur Smith, the offensive coordinator, if you are Mike Tomlin, if I'm Minkah Fitzpatrick on that defense, I'm telling Coach Tomlin, let us go win. Let's go make some big plays. And if we have to punt it, and if we don't score, let TJ Watt, this future Hall of Famer, Minka Fitzpatrick, this future Hall of Famer, Joey Porter Jr., who's an absolute baller, let us go make some stops, Coach. We don't want to be average. So give us a chance to be special. And I think Justin Fields does that.
That's the direction it's all going to go. One more thing I want you to see. RC, no one loves movie references more than you do. Well, Tua Tagovailoa had a good one. He celebrated his new $212 million contract by doing his best impression of Jerry Maguire. What?
Yeah, I mean, it was just, I'm happy for him, but I mean, he should have tested some lines out before. Like, why do those people want to care about how much money he got? Like, he should say, I'm a Dolphin forever. Something like that would have been the right thing to say, but whatever. As long as he don't throw no interception, it'll be fine.
There were so many lines from that movie that might have better fit that moment. Like, you had me at hello might have been better.
I mean,
the moment was doo-doo.
He wasn't asking to show him the money. He was saying they showed me the money.